So in the final analysis, what's the main lesson of the Stanford prison experiment? Here's what Professor Zimbardo wrote in The Lucifer Effect. Good people can be induced, seduced, and initiated into behaving in evil ways. The primary simple lesson the Stanford prison experiment teaches is that situations matter. Social situations can have more profound effects on the behavior and mental functioning of individuals, groups, and national leaders than we might believe possible. This lesson, that situations matter, is very consistent with results from Stanley Milgram's research on obedience and Solomon Asch's research on conformity. But it's important not to misinterpret that lesson as saying that the situation is the only thing that matters, or individual characteristics never matter, or situations matter more than individual characteristics. The Stanford prison experiment was never intended to show that prisoner and guard roles always, or even usually, lead to abuse. Rather, it demonstrated that when people in positions of authority become de-individuated, when they lose sight of their personal identity and become absorbed in a role, the situation can spin out of control. Here's one way to think about it. The main point of Milgram's research wasn't that 65% of people in the baseline condition deliver the highest electric shock. It was that under certain circumstances, people will obey a stranger's command to harm another person. The main point of Asch's research wasn't that people will conform on 32% of all critical trials. It's that under certain circumstances, people will go along with the group, even if it means contradicting the evidence of their senses. And in the Stanford prison experiment, the main point wasn't that guards will become abusive 65% of the time, or 32% of the time, or 10% of the time. In fact, the main lesson isn't even about prisoners or guards. It's that we need to guard ourselves against situational factors that can lead us to behave in destructive ways. You know, just as climate change is often referred to as an inconvenient truth by climate scientists and environmentalists, social psychology has its own inconvenient truth. And that truth is that situational factors sometimes override the best of intentions and lead good people to do bad things. If we ignore that inconvenient truth in favor of a simplistic view of the world as basically made up of good guys and bad guys, we risk getting blindsided by powerful situational factors that in some cases can get us into deep trouble. Group pressures, authority figures, assigned roles, and so on. That's the enduring lesson of the experiment. I'll see you next time.